Prime Minister Narendra Modi's first bilateral in his third term was with US President Donald Trump, and it has had many significant takeaways. For one, US has announced that it is preparing to extradite a key conspirator in a 2611 case, Tahavur Rana. India and United States have also vowed to increase trade between the two nations to $500 billion by 2030. The two countries have also agreed on joint efforts to counter terrorism. However, it appears this bilateral has not convinced the opposition in terms of gains for India. They are accusing the Prime Minister of covering up the corruption of Adani. This in context of a question being posed to the Prime Minister at a press conference. The opposition also says that PM was forced to do a press conference in the United States after trying to avoid one back home in India for the longest time. Citing the Adani issue, opposition leaders are saying that this is exactly why PM does not interact with the media back in India. And we've got reaction coming in from none other than Rahul Gandhi, whose project has been to gun for the government over the Adani issue. He has targeted the Prime Minister, doubling down on the claim that PM is covering up corruption for certain industrialists. He has put out a post on social media. So we've seen a reaction coming in from Rahul Gandhi there. He is saying that PM has chosen silence on the issue. Meenakshi, my colleague, is joining us for more on that post from Rahul Gandhi. So what do you, Meenakshi?
Well, absolutely, Priya. Without much ado, let's take our viewers through what Rahul Gandhi had to say. Politics, as you were rightly saying, has begun while the Prime Minister has just concluded a historic trip. Politics, war of words, escalating back home. Rahul Gandhi and other INDIA leaders attacking the BJP and the Prime Minister. Rahul Gandhi, to summarize what he had to say, it's a rough translation of that post in Hindi. He says that ask a question in the country, there's silence. Ask abroad, it becomes a private matter. Even in America, the Prime Minister, according to Rahul Gandhi, has covered up quote-unquote Adani ji's corruption. Then Rahul goes on to say, and I quote, when filling a friend's pocket is nation building for the Prime Minister, then bribery and looting for the country's wealth becomes quote-unquote a personal matter. That's the attack, a strong attack coming in from Rahul Gandhi's side.
Right, a fresh impetus to Congress party, specifically Rahul Gandhi's Modani agenda there from the press conference in the United States. We've got reaction coming in from Manikam Tagore as well. Listen in.
When we raise about Adani's issue, when we ask the question on Adani, it is not accepted. When the leader of opposition speaks about Adani, the word Adani becomes unparliamentary word and it is expunged. Now in America, a reporter has asked Mr. Modi about Adani and his face changed, his body language changed. But he was not answering the question. He takes it as personal matter. What is that personal matter? India's wealth is being handed over to Adani, Mr. Prime Minister. You have to answer. You have to reply.
One can almost sense the glee, the sense of glee in the faces of Congress leaders. You saw Manikam Tagore there. We are also joined by Niyamika for more context on this. But RP Singh of the BJP is with us on the broadcast. Sir, what do you make of opposition's reactions, specifically that of Rahul Gandhi?
Well, for them, the light starts with Gautam Adani and ends with Gautam Adani. I mean, Gautam Adani is among the 144 crore people, although he's an entrepreneur and a businessman and industrialist also. But that doesn't mean that between the countries and the negotiation or any talks and individuals are discussed. I mean, there are much bigger issues than Adani. But for them, it's just around. And then, although they do business, their party, I mean, their government, wherever they do business with Adani. But yes, they have to raise questions. And Prime Minister was very right. He said that when he said that he is the Prime Minister of 140 crore people and he take care of 140 crore people. But individual issues are not discussed when it comes to the bilateral with the other countries.
Right. There is also this question around how Prime Minister has been reluctant to address the press conferences, and the Congress and other opposition parties are saying that it shows in his discomfort when questions like these are asked of him on foreign lands.
Well, I don't know. They become body language readers now. So they can keep doing whatever they want to. They can keep reading Prime Minister's body language. But fact is, Prime Minister was at ease and he answered the question. as comfortable as he was answering other questions related to the talks with the President Trump.
Right. So to give context to our viewers, here is what happened. There was a media interaction that was taking place where the Prime Minister was asked about Adani and whether the matter was brought up during the discussion with the US President, to which Prime Minister replied saying that when two leaders of countries meet, they do not discuss individual matters like the one of Adani. But Niyamika, opposition is not going to buy any of those arguments.
Well, yes, indeed, we have listened to various voices coming in on the part of the opposition parties, whether it is Congress or TMC, as it is even the leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, who has also made a tweet in this regard, in which he has said that how can it be a personal matter, how can it be an individual's matter, because he has also made this allegation that while filling the pockets of the corporate friends, then it is basically about the nation's development on the part of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, but whenever it is being asked about the looting the people's money of our country, then it becomes a personal matter. So that's a question which is being posed before Prime Minister Narendra Modi by the leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, as not just him, but in fact we have listened to the voices which are coming in from the Congress leader, Mr. Manikam Tagore. In fact, Mr. Udit Raj has also said that it was a very embarrassing moment for the entire country, because he has mentioned that instead of saying that the action will be taken in the upcoming days, or asking President Donald Trump to take action in this entire matter, he has basically trying to divert the attention from the question which was being asked to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. On the other side, it is Mr. Manikam Tagore who has also given this message that the same kind of a statement was also being made, the same kind of question was also being asked to Prime Minister Narendra Modi within the parliament. But at that point of time, the opposition parties were being said that it is unparliamentary for mentioning about Mr. Gautam Adani within the parliament, and now it is a US journalist who has asked this question from Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and he cannot run away from giving answers to this question, because this is something which is related to the people's money of our country, as this is a very big allegation which was being leveled against the Adani group at that point of time, and now it is the responsibility of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to give all the replies regarding this entire issue. So we can expect that this entire matter will be raised by the opposition parties in the upcoming days as well. Earlier also during the parliament session, we have seen that how they had tried to seek a reply from the government side, as many of the opposition leaders had also raised this matter within the house. But this time, when this question is being asked, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a foreign tour, when he is meeting President Donald Trump, then for sure now the opposition is going to rake up this entire matter, seeking a reply from Prime Minister Narendra Modi that what kind of action the government of India is going to take in the upcoming days.
All right, Niyamika, we've got more reactions from the Congress party, Udit Raj being the latest. Listen in.
See, India never got such an embarrassing situation on the land of other countries for the first time, because Trump and Modi visit was watched by the whole world, and journalists asked about Adani corruption. Already cases against corruption are pending in America. And instead of replying that Mr. Modi would have said that we will take action in India, and would also ask Trump to take appropriate action, but instead that he indirectly said that every Indian is a scammer.
Ajay Alok, Udit Raj's interpretation of what PM said is that Modi has said that every Indian is a scammer because he refused to indulge in a question about one particular person.
The Congress party is always obsessed about individual. And here is not the case. The Prime Minister of the country, Mr. Narendra Modi, is not obsessed with individuals, he is obsessed with his country. This is the difference that Congress party does not understand. देश जरूरी है, व्यक्ति जरूरी नहीं है. ये राजीव गांधी नहीं है कि जाके कोथरोची के बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे या एंडरसन के बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे. नरेंद्र मोदी जब बाहर गए हैं, वो देश के प्रधानमंत्री हैं, वो सिर्फ देश के मुद्दों को डिस्कस करेंगे. ये कांग्रेस पार्टी को कभी समझ में नहीं आएगी. यही अंतर है कांग्रेस पार्टी में और भारतीय जनता पार्टी में.
But sir, they're also saying that there could have been better responses to the query instead of saying that.
Who are they to determine what should be the response of the Indian Prime Minister? कांग्रेस कौन होती है डिटरमाइन करने वाली कि नरेंद्र मोदी क्या आंसर देंगे? कांग्रेस से पूछ के आंसर देने के लिए देश ने उन्हें इलेक्ट किया है। नरेंद्र मोदी अपने हर सवाल का जवाब क्या कांग्रेस से पूछ के देंगे? देश की जनता ने जनमत नरेंद्र मोदी को इसलिए दिया है कि वो कांग्रेस से पूछ ले कि भैया किस चीज के जवाब क्या दूं मैं? राजीव गांधी समझा हुआ है क्या कि कॉकरोची को कैसे बचाया जाए वो बता दे? एंडरसन को कैसे भगाना है भोपाल गैस ट्रेजेडी के बाद वो बताएं जाके अमेरिकन प्रेसिडेंट को? कांग्रेस अपने गिरबान में जाके उसके बाद ये सब जवाब सवाल करे।
Right. Thank you, Mr. Alok, for joining us with your insights on that matter. There are also multiple investigations that are underway, including those being conducted by Stock Exchange Board of India that have also been given a thumbs up by the Supreme Court in terms of its integrity and the processes being followed for investigation. Parallelly, but opposition is definitely going to make this into a big political controversy. There are other reactions also coming in from leaders of the Congress party on other issues that were discussed. One of them has, of course, been the deportation of illegal Indians that had caused a lot of heartburn earlier when a plane carrying 104 of them with chains and shackled legs had landed in India. Listen into Shashi Tharoor.
Well, so far I must say that what we've seen from the press statements by both the Prime Minister and by President Trump are very encouraging because it looks like some of the big concerns we all had have been addressed. For example, on the question of trade and tariffs, they've decided to sit down together and do a serious negotiation that will conclude by the fall, which is the autumn, September, October of this year. I think that's a very good outcome because otherwise the fear was there might be some hasty decisions made in Washington which would have affected our exports. This way there is time to discuss and negotiate. I welcome that. Secondly, on the illegal immigration issue, the only thing missing there from what Prime Minister Modi said was the question of the manner in which those people were treated and sent back. I think otherwise his stand was absolutely correct. These are misled youth who have been encouraged or induced to migrate illegally.